Hey guys, Alec, Peirce. It might be kind of funny for me to be sharing something with you about a regulator that is over 60 years old, and I love it. I still love it. No, I wouldn't go diving with it, but I love it anyway. And let me show you why. There are certain things from the old days that I wish they still had today, but they don't. There's reasons for that. And I understand the reasons, and I kind of accept the reasons, but darn it, I miss it. One of the very first things is, look at this regulator. This is a Healthways, big company. You may or may not have ever heard of Healthways, but if you have not heard of Healthways, it's because you're not a vintage diver. But this Healthways was a big company. And look at this regulator. It's beautiful. Look at its chrome. Even the exhaust tee is all chrome. Look, now there's a reason why that's gone. First of all, I'm the first to admit that plastic, Cycolac, Delrin, whatever they want to call it, it's plastic, has a lot of advantages. It never rusts, it never corrodes, it never changes color. But if you take care of the regulator, as this chap has here, I mean, just beautiful. I love chrome. I'm a chrome guy, sorry. Anyway, that's one thing I miss. The old regulators with the chrome on them are really nice. Now here's something I don't really miss, a neck strap. And you know, we just did a video the other day, Kevin and I, and we talked about neck straps. I think we were in a dive store and I had neck straps for sale. Yeah, necklace, sometimes they call it a scuba regulator necklace, neck strap, whatever. And the whole idea is that when this is on, this is around your neck. Hence the name necklace, right? This hangs around your neck like so. So if the regulator comes out of your mouth, it falls, it's right there. It doesn't fall behind you. After all those many years of diving, I got to tell you that I don't think my regulator ever came out of my mouth accidentally. It came out a couple of times on purpose, which still isn't very smart, but I don't think it ever fell out of my mouth. Pretty sure it didn't. I used a lot of necklaces back in the old days, so I don't really think it's all that necessary, but it's kind of cool. Yeah. Made it easy for hanging stuff up as well. So there's two things that were kind of handy. Also, right on the very front, there's a clip here. My old fingers aren't strong enough, but if you wanted to clean the inside of your regulator, all you had to do was get a pair of pliers in my case, or if you're young and have strong fingers, you just squeeze that clip together, and I can't do it, and the whole thing falls apart in front of you. Not in the old days. In the old days, of course, we learned in the open water class how to fix your own regulator. So obviously the companies made them so they were easy to service. Now let me show you something really neat. You may or may not agree, it's a good idea. Here's the first stage. First of all, the first stage is heavy. Gotta be 4 pounds. But this regulator is odd. Where's the yoke screw? There's the filter. It obviously goes on the tank valve, like this. How do you find, there's no yoke. Where's the yoke now? It's inside, there it is right there. Can you see that, Kevin? Can you see? The yoke knob is inside. You want to put it on the tank, then you screw it down, just nice and tightly. Take it off, you unscrew it, take it off. That's just nice. It's all smooth. Chrome, of course. Can't catch on fishing line or kelp or weeds or cables in a wreck or anything. Beautiful design. Yeah, smooth and everything else, gone. It's never reappeared after that. Now they all have a screw or a knob, and I think it works really well. The knob in particular is still quite smooth, but this is beautiful. You got to admit, come on, look at it, guys. It's beautiful. Then, what's this? It's that great big hunk of brass on the side. Well, now, let me tell you about that. This is called an audio reserve. 65 years ago, that's what this is. Automatic, audible reserve. So with this particular regulator, this beautiful old Scuba 300 from Healthways, when your pressure got down to 300 psi, every time you breathed in, it was great. You know exactly what the pressure was. Time to go up. A lot of guys didn't like it because all their buddies knew they were low in air too. They sometimes were called an air hog. But what a great idea. There's some. Now here's something else. Let me show you this one too. Same regulator, not nearly as clean, not nearly well, chrome and so on. But look at this first stage. Okay, it's got that same internal knob. But what's this on the side? There's a thing on the side here. What the heck is that? Oh, that's kind of cool. You can switch it back and forth. What does it do? Well, now some of you may know this is a reserve mechanism, an old-fashioned reserve mechanism. You see, let me just show you quickly. It used to be years and years ago when tanks first came out in the 40s and 50s, they had what was called a K valve, or just an on-off valve, it was called. It's kind of like the valve you have today. The valve sat in the tank, regular fits on here. You want to turn the air on, good. Turn the air off, on-off valve. Called a K valve for another reason. Go to my vintage Scuba playlist and put in K valve, or valves maybe, and you learn all about that. So that's the kind of valve they had. But divers, they fairly quickly realized that, it's crucial that we know how much air we have. We want to know how much air we have. So there's got to be some way of letting us know when we're low on air. Because with the K valve, you run out, you're out. You run out, you're out. Yeah, it's not good. So they invented the J valve. It's called the J valve, or reserve. So this one has the same knob. Air on, oh good, air off. But it has this lever on the side, you see? And when you start your dive, you put the lever up, like that. And there's a rod, or sometimes a cord, on the tank. And when the air pressure dropped to 300 psi, it started to get hard to breathe. What's wrong? Well, nothing's wrong. You reach back, you pull the J rod. It was called the J rod. Yeah, divers were pretty smart back then. They were pretty simple and pretty sensible. J valve, J rod. So we reached back, pulled the J rod, pulled that, and we got 300 psi there. Just enough, hopefully, to get us back to the surface safely. That was called a reserve valve. Unfortunately, reserve valves being more expensive than K valves, a lot of dive stores didn't put J valves or reserve valves on their tanks. When you went into rent, certainly if you were down south in the Caribbean on those old days in the 60s and 70s, yeah, but divers wanted them because they're a great safety item. This is before SPGs, so great safety item. So if divers did a lot of diving down south and they knew the tanks only had K valves, what are they going to do? Well, it's really simple. You buy a regulator with a J valve. Yes, indeed. So this regulator, again from Healthways, got old Scuba J, it was called. Again, we were simple, sensible back then. It has a J, we called it a J. Back in those days, that regulator was on your tank with this neat internal knob, and you'll put your J rod of the tank on, knob up, go diving. At 300 psi, you pull it down, and you get 300 psi. And all from your regulator, not the tank valve. Just a few things from the old days that sometimes I wish they had them today. Now, don't get me wrong, regs today are incredible. Anyway, guys, just a couple things to think about. Hope you enjoyed that. Alec Peirce here at Simcoe Diving in Barrie, Ontario, bringing you some more scuba tech tips. Talk to you soon.